Today's story is about Catherine from Blois. And Catherine, she lived during the Middle Ages in Germany. So that's about 500 years ago. And since she's from Germany, her name, if you were to pronounce it in German, would be Katharina von Bora. And so our story today is called Catherine von Bora, the Morning Star of Wittenberg, and it's written by four sisters who are Lutheran. And their last name is Strachbein, and their first names are Jenna, Shanna, Emily, and Elizabeth. So they wrote, illustrated, and illuminated the storybook. So if you turn the page. So this page actually isn't on the screen. This is just for you and Jamie and up here. This is Germany here. This is where she lives, so you can see what that looks like. And here's our first page, which is up there. So long, long ago, in the days of kings and queens and knights and peasants, when throughout all the land the Pope's decree was higher than that of any monarch or emperor, there lived a girl named Catherine. Catherine was born south of Leipzig, Germany, to the noble family of von Bora. When she was 6, her mother died, and soon after her father remarried. After a short time, it was decided that Catherine would be put in a convent. She was sent away from all she had ever known, her family and her home. So you can see, she's looking rather sad now. All right. In Catherine's time, the Roman Catholic Church taught that when boys and girls grew up, it was more noble and holy to become a nun or a monk than to get married and have children. Because of this, many young men and women left their families and joined monasteries and convents, places where they spent their days trying to get close to God by chanting and paying reverence to relics. Most people thought that living this way was pleasing to God, although some parents sent their daughters to become nuns simply because they did not have enough money. So you can see here they are chanting. When Catherine came to the convent at München, that's the city where it was, everyone and everything was new and strange to her, except for her Aunt Magdalena. Aunt Elena was gentle and kind. She had lived there at the convent for many years and was in charge of the hospital. Catherine learned how to make and use herbal remedies and medicines, and she helped to take care of the sick people, and was brave and strong, even when they were very ill. She also closely followed all of the convent's practices and rituals. Her time was filled with Latin chants and services at all hours of the day and night, and endless prayers for the souls of the dead. So we go to church on Sunday morning, but if you lived in the convent, you had worship several times each day. So imagine that. In 1517, when Catherine was 18 years old, all of Germany rang with astounding news. On October 31st, a brave young monk nailed a large piece of paper onto the church door in the town of Wittenberg. Martin Luther was his name. And in this paper, he challenged the corrupt teachings and greedy practices of the Roman Catholic Church. Now, Martin Luther had spent many years as a faithful monk, and his principal area of study was the Bible. Martin read and read the Bible, and as he read the Bible, he found in it that a person could not earn or buy forgiveness for sins as the Roman Catholic Church then had taught. Forgiveness for sins was given by Jesus Christ alone. Jesus had paid the penalty for sinners and himself when he died on the cross and rose again. Works could not save anyone, but faith alone, which itself was a gift from God. This amazing news spread throughout the land. Though Catherine was cloistered from the world, that means she lived inside the convent and didn't even go outside to visit her family. The news from Martin Luther's discovery seeped into the convent. Some nuns were shocked and angry to hear that they could not earn their salvation through good deeds. But Catherine listened and wondered, was her way of life in the convent not the way of life of God? In time, when Catherine was 24, she and a few other young nuns secretly obtained some of Martin Luther's papers. He wrote something that was startling. Contrary to what most people believed, the Bible taught that getting married and having children was not less holy than staying unmarried, as nuns did. In fact, there was nothing at all in the Bible about being a monk or a nun. Upon discovering this, the girls could not continue as they were. They wrote to their families telling them that they would like to return home. Each answer came back the same: no. Some of the families were afraid to let their daughters return, and some still felt it was better to be a nun. Now, in those days, rescuing a nun was very dangerous, for it bore the penalty of death. But Catherine and the other nuns felt that they could not give up hope of escape. So they wrote a secret letter to Martin Luther himself. And when Martin received the letter, he knew at once that he must do something, and he knew just the man to help. His name was Leonard Papa. He was a merchant who delivered goods to the convent every day. So on Easter Eve, after a special late night service, when most everyone was sound asleep, an owl hooted in surprise. What were 12 nuns doing out at this time of the night? Leonard Papa had recruited his nephew and another young man to assist in the escape. They helped the girls climb over the high wall and through a ditch that surrounded the convent. Then they climbed into a wagon. They went through dangerous territory, but at last they made their way to the town of Wittenberg. As Catherine stepped into the cobbled street, she saw a friendly man. He welcomed the girls in a clear voice. It was Martin Luther. They arrived homeless with no money or even a change of clothes. Yet Luther quickly found families for the nuns in Wittenberg for each of them to stay with. Catherine lived first with the Reichenbach family and then with the Chronic family. How different it was to live in a warm, lively household in comparison with her solitary life at the convent. Martin felt responsible for the nuns to make sure that they would all have good homes, and soon helped them find husbands, all except for Almost 2 years went by, and still Luther could not find a husband for Catherine. When he finally suggested a suitor, Catherine did not like the man at all. She made a joke that she wouldn't mind marrying Martin, but she would not marry this particular suitor. When Martin told the joke to his parents, they didn't think it was funny. They thought he should get married because they wanted grandchildren. And so it was that Martin and Catherine got married. There was a great wedding procession from the parish church to the Black Cloister where Martin Luther lived. People crowded in the streets and cheered, and children threw flowers. Dr. Luther was getting married again. When Catherine surveyed her new home, she could see that the Black Cloister was in a rather sorry state. Up to now, Martin had lived alone in the big monastery with his little dog, Clowny, and one other man. He had been far too busy teaching and writing and giving sermons to keep things up. There were barely any dishes in the kitchen, the plaster was cracked and falling off in the walls, the garden was choked with weeds, and the straw in Martin's bed had not been changed in a whole year. Catherine had a big job ahead of her. So she worked and worked and cleaned, and at last the house was ready for guests. And soon there was a small addition to the household, and before long, another and yet another. Hans was the oldest, then Elizabeth, followed by Magdalena, Catherine and Martin's children. Their home became a busy place, full of cheerful bustle and brisk activity. Their dinner table was often filled with those who came to learn from Dr. Luther, and with people who had fled persecution for their faith. Martin led many lively and deep discussions around the table, and Catherine was an attentive and gracious hostess. The Black Cloister, or Luther House, as it came to be called, was large and well-suited for the rapidly growing number of lodgers and guests. Catherine also kept a farm with animals, and she helped clean up the garden, and she kept bees, and all of this helped provide for the household. And they also provided for several children, because in that time period, the Black Plague was still spreading amongst Europe, and so children often would be orphaned, and their parents would both die from this illness. And Catherine and Martin let them come into their household and care for them as well. So Catherine was a big provider for the Luther house, and she helped to welcome all kinds of people into it. So that's our story about Catherine. So if you couldn't tell, I was summarizing a little bit because we would be here all day if we read the whole book. Thank you, page turners. So today we're talking about women. We had Mary and Elizabeth, and just then we heard the story about Catherine. And there's actually some similarities and parallels between the lives of these three women. Like Mary, Catherine took a great risk to follow what she felt was God's call. As we know, Mary took a great risk in her life to say yes to God's invitation to bear God's Son. As an unmarried woman, to say yes to bear God's Son would mean that she would expose herself to great danger. She could be stoned, or if she was from a priestly family, she could have been burned. So Mary took a great risk to make this decision, and there's a reason that shortly after she comes out this news from the angel Gabriel, that in our reading today she goes with haste to find safety with her cousin Elizabeth. And so Catherine, like Mary, took a great risk to leave the convent and to embrace the life of having children and being part of a family in a time when that was seen as a rejection of something holy, being a nun. Now, Elizabeth and Catherine share similarities because they both are very welcoming, provide hospitality in their homes. They work hard to do that. So Elizabeth, in our gospel story, when she welcomes Mary into her home, she's 6 months pregnant. And she's a wife of a priest. So to welcome a woman, an unmarried woman, who's pregnant into her home as a priest's wife would have been probably very scandalous. So she took a risk to welcome Mary in this way. And then Mary stayed with her for 3 months. So if she was 6 months when Mary was first coming to the house, 3 months later would have been time for the baby to be born for Elizabeth. So in her last trimester, essentially, of her pregnancy, she's welcoming this woman into her house under risky circumstances. So she certainly went to lengths to be welcoming and to provide hospitality. And Catherine, as we heard in the story, had to fix up the shambles of Luther House to make it a welcoming place for other scholars who came to visit Luther, for refugees who were fleeing persecution, and also for orphans, those who had been left without a family because of disease. And so today we hear about the importance of welcome and hospitality. Because without these two women, Mary and Elizabeth, and their bravery, we wouldn't have Jesus. If they hadn't said yes, Mary to bearing Jesus as her son, and Elizabeth to welcoming Mary into her household, Jesus might never have been born. And Catherine, when she was doing this bold, taking these bold risks to follow the call and welcoming people into her home, she was following in the footsteps of these women, Mary and Elizabeth. And in a way, she too was helping Jesus to be born into the world with her hospitality by providing for those in need. And so now we're heading into Christmas time proper. Tomorrow is Christmas Eve, and the next day, Christmas Day. And I guess many of you will be hosting people in your homes. How many people will be having guests at some point or another in the next couple days? Or probably have had already guests, or been a guest in somebody's house. Well, we can think about, as challenging as it can be sometimes, to have lots of people in our home who aren't always getting along, or who are tired and in need of a nap, or who are hungry and argumentative, that we can be like these women, Mary, Elizabeth, and Catherine, to try and provide a space for love and for hospitality. And that knowing that when we do that, we are welcoming Christ into our heart and into our home. And also that we can think about not only welcoming people, family and friends during the holidays, but how can we do that all year long? How can we welcome those, not just that we know, but people who are in need, whether that be because they're in need financially, or they're lonely and they just need company, or maybe they're sick and they need some support. So just to keep in mind that when we do